Hello guys, I am in Washington Square and I am heading to the Bitter End Club that opened its doors more than 60 years ago. I'm going to see Terri Thal and celebrate her memoirs, My Greenwich Village, Dave, Bob and Me. It's going to be an evening of stories of the village folk scene that changed the music and the social politics forever.
Go down to Baltimore, got no carpet on my floor. Come along, go with me, or we'll go back to Tennessee.
I became a socialist when I was in college. I believed that everybody in the world should have food and shelter and education. And later I realized that there was health care, and I became very committed to that. And in my second year of college, I wandered into the old left, which was not the Communist Party, but it was a socialist organization. It was the socialist left. And it was through that I heard more folk music. And actually, I didn't meet Dave through that. I met him at an anarchist party. An anarchist science fiction party up in one of those incredible apartments on Riverside Drive.
There was this guy sitting on a bench all by himself, playing his Gibson guitar, singing at the top of his lungs all by himself, St. James Infirmary. And it was like, oh my God, who is this guy? So I had to talk to him. And we became friends, and I remember we walked from there over to a loft that he lived in, which Terri can talk about also. He lived on a loft way over, we walked down Canal Street, I remember, all the way east near the bridge, and spent a great afternoon together. We were friends after that.
Far away across these white blue mountains, one fine day I know I'm bound to ride.
I loved entertaining. People came up. We would sit and get stoned. We would talk about socialism. Dave and I would talk about socialism. Nobody else cared. Nobody else wanted to do it. They weren't interested. They really weren't interested.
I think it's a bit easier now, given what both our countries, I still live in Britain unfortunately, and you here, have been through over the last few years. You know, we are still in difficult times. It's a little bit easier now than it was, perhaps, to imagine the deprivations and the claustrophobia of the 1950s and 60s.
It was restricted. There were boxes, and you lived in your boxes, and you sat in your boxes. I did not like the box of being restricted as a woman. My sister and I heard endlessly from our mother that it was regrettable that we were girls. She wished we weren't girls. And sometimes it was really hard to understand why, because she didn't object to having girls.
It was that you had an easier life as a guy.
It was that you were screwed. If you were a girl, you were screwed. You were going to grow up to be a woman. You were going to be screwed. You couldn't do anything. I had a thing about, this is not going to happen to me. I am not going to live my life like that. I am going to be an independent person, and I'm not going to get trapped. And to a certain limited extent, I think I was able to do that. I never carried his goddamn guitar. It had this Chaplinist way of falling off a stool, of scratching his head, of moving his cap and smiling cutely. He was an incredibly talented performer. He was not a great guitarist. He was not a great singer, but he was a talented performer. He really was. And we became friends.
On my brain.
I am honored that Liz and Cliff did this. Like, wow. I've been a public relations person, I've been an editor, I've been a wife, I've been a girlfriend, I've been a mistress. I ain't never been a bloody author on stage.
Thank you, Tom, Happy, Terry, The Bitter End, Paul Rizzo was always very patient with me, and the publishers, and David Amram, Artist Emeritus, and the Spirit. Thank you, Paul. I think you're going to lead us out.
He was a man